The time has finally come. How to get all skills to 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I've been one by one releasing each skill to 100 video for the past few months, but now they are all out and I can finally make one big compilation of all those videos. Now I'm gonna re-record a few of the entries for this video, since ones like the Conjuration one could definitely be condensed into a much shorter video. But aside from that, the skill methods will remain more or less unchanged. I'm going to start the video with Alchemy and Enchanting, since those are the skills that I recommend getting to 100 first. If you have those at 100 first, they will allow you to get 4 or 5 of the other skills to 100 within a few seconds with some high level enchantments and potions. Now I do have a bit of a flu at the time of recording this, so I apologise if my voice sounds a bit off, but with that out of the way, let's get right on with the guide compilation. Enjoy the video! In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the quick and extremely profitable way to get Enchanting to level 100. But without further ado, let's get right on with the video. To start off, you're going to want to fast travel to the Guardian Stones and choose the Mage Stone. This will make your Enchanting level up 20% faster. You can also sleep an inn to further increase this by 10%. Next, you are going to need a lot of soul gems. If you watched the last video on the channel, it was a guide on how to duplicate items, then you can get hundreds of grand soul gems fairly fast. But if you want a more legit method, simply just pick up every soul gem you find while you're travelling, and then use the Soul Stealer skill on the Conjuration skill tree. This will fill a soul gem every time you kill an enemy using a bound weapon. And petty soul gems are also very cheap, and since you'll be making a lot of gold from this method, you can buy these and still turn a huge profit. Next, you will need items to enchant. Either pick up a bunch of low weight items on your journey like rings or jewellery, or smith them yourself. My usual go-to choice is iron daggers, incredibly cheap and easy to make. A quick tip for some quick early levels is to pick up every item you see that has enchantments that you don't know how to use yet. Disenchanting also gives you a lot of EXP, so carry as many items as you can to the enchanting table and learn all of their enchantments. But okay, with everything disenchanted and a large reserve of gems and items to enchant at your disposal, it's time to get started. EXP is based on the increase to the value of the item that you're making, so choose whichever enchantment will make the dagger more expensive. Spam through all of your enchantments on your chosen item. As you can see, for the first 20 or so levels you can easily gain 1 level-ish per dagger. It does slow down more as you go, but this method will race through levels and net you an insane amount of gold. As you can see, every dagger is hugely increasing in profit here. Now, simply go and sell all your daggers, and with your newfound money buy the supplies for more daggers and more cheap soul gems. And simply rinse and repeat this until you're level 100. It'll take a few hundred enchants to reach 100, but if you mix this in with your usual exploring and pick up all the gems you find and light items in the dungeons, then you will be 100 in no time. Each crypt will easily net you a few dozen soul gems. Just to give an idea of the profit you can make doing this, 1 iron ore is around 5 to 6 gold, a leather strip is around 7 to 10 gold, and I'm selling these iron daggers anywhere from 400 to 600 a piece. In just my first short trip making the daggers and enchanting them, I made around 6,500 gold and gained over 30 levels. So if you've leveled your speech or have ways of selling items for more money, or simply just have stronger enchantments than me, you can easily make this way higher. But that about covers it. It's one of the more time-consuming of hundreds, but it will net you immense profit and is one of the strongest skills in Skyrim. In a future vid I'll be showing you some of the best enchantments, but with the correct enchantments on your gear you can more or less cast any spell in the game for complete free or make your character literally invincible in most cases. In today's video I'm going to be showing you an extremely fast way to get Alchemy to level 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. But without further ado, let's get right on with the guide. To start off, you're going to want to head over to the Guardian Stones and grab the Thief Stone. This will make Alchemy increase 20% faster. For this guide, we're going to be using an exploit called the Restoration Pot strategy. I've heard this method go by other names in the past, but this is just the one I tend to use. The first and probably hardest step is to get 4 pieces of armour that have the Fortify Alchemy enchantment on them. The Kashyyyk caravans are an easy way to find these. If you're struggling to find them, my main method is to fast travel between the stables of Whiterun and the entrance of Dawnstar until they appear at one of these. Once you find them, make a quick save, check the merchant's inventory for the enchantment. If they don't have anything that has the enchantment on it, you can do a glitch to reset the inventory. Simply quick save the game, kill the merchant and reload the quick save. This will reset the inventory. Do this until you find the enchantment. It's quicker than having to wait 48 hours. Now go enchant 4 pieces of gear. For whatever reason, you can only enchant helmets and gauntlets with this enchantment, so get both of those and then any ring and a necklace to bring you to 4 pieces. The last video on the channel was an enchanting guide to 100 while making a huge profit, so feel free to check that out if you need some levels. Next, there are only 2 ingredients you need for this exploit. The Cyrodiilic Spade Tail and the Abyssian Longfin. I definitely screwed those names. Any alchemy merchant in the world should sell these. You can use the method shown before to reset their inventory if they don't have it. You should only need about 15 to 20 of these and that should be enough to get to level 100. You can either find them yourself, you can purchase them from vendors, or use the duplication glitch. A quick tutorial for that is down in the description below. Okay, time for the strategy. Take your ingredients to an alchemy lab with your armor equipped, and make a restoration boosting potion using the 2 ingredients. Drink the potion and then unequip and re-equip the armor set. As you can see, this set will now have increased power. Each time you do this, your potions will get stronger and stronger. Remember to put the armor off and back on again after each individual drink. This will start stacking incredibly fast to the point where one potion will be getting you the full 100 levels, since EXP is based off of potion strength. You can get to the point where one potion literally gets you so many numbers that it's going off the screen and does just start breaking your game. So enjoy getting infinite skill points and your skill to level 100 as many times as you want, as fast as you want. And that about covers it. This is a surefire way to get alchemy to level 100 in under 10 minutes, depending how long it takes you to find the armor and the ingredients. In today's video, I'll be showing you a ludicrously fast way to get smithing to level 100. I did do a smithing to 100 guide quite a few years back now, but it was a super old strategy which cost a lot of spending money. The method in this video costs hardly anything and will only take you a few minutes from 15 all the way to 100. Without further ado, let's get right on with the guide. Now there are only 2 things you need for this method. The first is a ridiculously busted potion that enhances your restoration way past the norm. I've gone over a full in-depth tutorial on how to make one of these in a previous vid. I will link my Alchemy to 100 guide down below if you need to make more of these potions. A really quick summary for this vid on how to get it is to get 4 pieces of gear that boost the strength of your potions that you make. Make one of these potions, drink the potion, unequip and re-equip the gear so the enchantment takes effect. Then make another potion. Rinse and repeat this with the new stronger potions until the number starts getting stupidly high after you've done this a few times. And then just create a few of these so you have more for the future. These can actually be used to get a load of skills to 100. I do go into more details on this in my Alchemy to 100 guide, such as the best places to get the enchantments and ingredients, etc. The second thing you need for this method is any enchantment that buffs upgrades made to weapons and armor. Enchantments like this spawn completely at random. I found a piece of gear with this enchantment from just one of the local shops around Whiterun. So with enough searching, it should not be too hard for you to find one of these. Next, you literally need a very small amount of supplies, maybe like 10 ingots and a few strips. Then the method is as simple as drink the potion so the enchantment on your gear starts to go really high, and then just use a few ingots to upgrade a weapon or piece of armor a few times. Depending how strong the potion was you made, you can hit 100 in a single upgrade. Plus, it will make an absolutely scuffed weapon that can one-hit anything. Just look at this thing, the game doesn't even understand what to do with this number. But yeah, that pretty much covers it. This is by far the fastest and cheapest way to get your smithing to level 100 that I am aware of, only costing a few hundred coins total. And from me clicking on the game on my home screen to getting my smithing to level 100 took me grand total of about 20 minutes, including the creation of the potions. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, these potions can be used to get quite a few of the skills to level 100. The other week I did light and heavy armor, for example, which can get instantly to 100 in a few seconds with these potions. If you did create a few extra of the potions like I suggested earlier, then when you click on that video, with the method in that video, you should be able to get both light and heavy armor to 100 in a few seconds. In today's video, I'll be showing you an extremely easy way to get your light and heavy armor skills to level 100 in just a few minutes. But without further ado, let's get right on with the guide. The longest part of this method is simply just getting all of the required stuff for this method. The leveling itself will actually only take under a second. Firstly, you will need to get yourself on a piece of jewellery that increases your max health, and then a piece of jewellery that gives you better smithing upgrades. You will also need a sword and a few ingots to upgrade that sword. I recommend iron since it's the cheapest and requires the smallest smithing level. Next, and most importantly, you will need a glitched potion that fortifies your restoration way past any normal amount. I show the full strategy on how to craft one of these in my Alchemy to 100 video, which I will link in the description down below. I will also link my Enchanting to 100 video if you would like to see that as well. And last but not least, you need a follower.
Lead the way.
Okay, and now for the method. Head over to a blacksmith and drink your restoration potion. Then equip your 2 pieces of jewellery. Now with the smithing piece of jewellery equipped, simply sharpen the sword a few times. This will buff the damage hundreds of thousands of times higher. It will display as a relatively low number, but the value will show you that it is working and the damage is secretly heading stupidly higher than it says on the number. Your health piece of jewellery will now also have sent your health so high that you basically can't get hurt ever again. Then give the sword to your companion. And start hitting them until they start hitting you back.
Never should have come here.
Within a second or two, they would have done so much damage that your armor skill will be at level 100. It took me about 3 hits. Then simply switch to the other type of armor, and then that will also immediately shoot to level 100. And yeah, it is really that simple, both skills to level 100 in easily under 10 seconds. You will also see your smithing has probably also shot to 100 from the smithing glitch pack. Some followers won't immediately forgive you, but simply just run away until they forget where you are. And then go back to them at any point and they'll be back to normal. Don't forget to remove the god sword from their inventory or they will insta-kill everything they ever come in contact with. In today's video, I'll be showing you by far the quickest and easiest way to get your block to level 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. But without further ado, let's get right on with the guide. By far the longest part of this strategy is just getting the setup required. The EXP gig again itself will actually only take you a few seconds to jump all the way from 15 to 100. The first thing you're going to want to need is a ridiculously glitched potion that boosts your restoration. I did a full in-depth walkthrough of how to create one of these on my Alchemy to 100 guide, which I will link in the description down below, but a very quick explanation is, get gear that is enchanted with alchemy boosting enchantments, make one of these potions, drink it so it will increase the power of all your potion enchantments, unequip it and re-equip it so the buff takes effect, then make another, now stronger potion. If you rinse and repeat this for a few minutes, you will have a potion that is in the hundreds of thousands. The second thing you need is simply pieces of gear that are enchanted with health boosting enchantments. The third thing you need are pieces of gear enchanted with upgrades to your smithing skill. Fourth is any follower in the game. And finally, but more importantly, anything capable of blocking. Okay, now for the method. Head to a blacksmith, drink the potion, and equip the smithing gear. And then upgrade any weapon you want way past the limit. Yeah, that should do fine. Hand the weapon to your companion so they will now do busted amounts of damage. Drink another potion so your health basically heads to infinite. Equip your health increasing gear. And hit your companion a few times until they start hitting back. Then simply block 1, maybe 2 hits and you should zoom all the way from 15 way to 100. Now simply sheath your weapon or run away from your follower until they stop being annoyed at you. Then go back and remove the sword from their inventory unless you want them to walk around absolutely one-hitting anything that breathes. And it's literally as simple as that. Overall, the actual EXP part of this guide takes maybe 2 seconds to get to 100. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you one of the quickest and easiest ways to get your 1 and 200 skills to level 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. But without further ado, let's get right on with the guide. There are a few things you can do to get this method a lot faster. The first thing is go and grab yourself the Warrior Stone. This will give you a flat 20% EXP increase to your melee combat skills. The second thing is getting the required gear. Having your smithing and enchanting to level 100 or at least at a higher level will also help. The EXP you get in one and two-handed is fully based on the damage that you deal, so a higher smithing level will allow you to upgrade your weapons much higher. And enchantments, like the one on screen, will buff the weapons even further. For players that are in the really early game and do not have access to the high level gear like Ebony and Daedric, I recommend buying the Bound weapon spell. You can upgrade the damage they do relatively early on in the Conjuration skill tree and they do pretty high damage. I will link the level 100 tutorials for smithing, enchanting and conjuration in the description down below if you want to get those to 100 insanely fast. Thirdly, you're going to want to get your hands on all 3 words to the Elemental Fury Shout. It will greatly increase your swing speed for a short duration after shouting. Now bear in mind, for whatever reason, this shout will not affect your conjured swords, so this shout is primarily for people who are doing the smithing method. The first word location is right next to the statue of Meridia, just west of Solitude. The second word can be found at Dragontooth Crater, directly between Solitude and Markarth. The third and final word can be found inside Shriekwind Bastion, right next to Falkreath. The fourth and final thing you will need for this method is a horse. I highly recommend getting Shadowmare. This is a horse you get towards the second half of the Dark Brotherhood questline. Its health is insanely higher than the average horse, so it likely will not even take damage as you're hitting it. So, you've now got your Standing Stone, upgraded gear, the Elemental Fury Shout, and a strong-ass horse. It is now time for the method. Take your horse to a remote location and crank the difficulty as high as it will go. This will give your horse much more health. Then, if you're using one-handed, then get out your best 2 swords, or with two-handed, get out your strongest weapon. Use the Elemental Fury Shout, and then just go to town on your horse. You should gain EXP incredibly fast with this method. Whenever your shout runs out, just wait an hour and you will get your shout back. Skipping an hour will also fully replenish your horse's health. It should take around an hour to get the chosen style from 15 all the way to 100, so around 2-ish hours to get both one and two-handed to level 100 once you have the setup. A few other tips you can do to make this go even faster is to buy skills as soon as you unlock them. If you're using Conjuration, which will not work with the shout, then grab the perk that buffs bound weapons. But yes, overall this should get your skills to 100 much faster than just playing the game normally. But overall it took me about 4 hours in total to go all the way through the Dark Brotherhood questline, get the horse, get this gear, and get both skills to level 100. But if you already have some strong swords and are already somewhat far into the skill trees, this should only take an hour at most. But that about wraps it up. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. How to get archery to level 100 quickly. But without further ado, let's get right in with this guide. To start off, let's get the obvious out of the way. Get your hands on a good bow. If you are in the early game and don't have that many arrows, or you don't have access to a strong bow and arrow, I recommend going to any merchant that sells spells and buying the bound bow spell, since this gets more arrows every time you summon. Alternatively, if you have a high smithing level, you can create a much stronger bow like Daedric or Dragon. I will link my Smithing to 100 guide in the description down below if you want to get Smithing to 100 for free and extremely fast. Alternatively, if you have the anniversary edition of the game, you might be able to get your hands on the Bound Quiver spell to give yourself infinite arrows with your smithed bow for the best combination. This spell doesn't usually spawn in shops until you have around level 40 to 50 Conjuration, and for whatever reason this actually appears on the powers page, not the Conjuration page. Strangely, EXP in Skyrim is based off the base damage the bow does and not the increased damage after all the upgrades, so stuff like Enchanting will not actually help to speed up your EXP gain because it just works. The second thing you will need is the Thief Stone. This gives you a flat 20% increase to your EXP. An optional third thing you can do is to sleep in a player-owned house. This will give you the well-rested bonus, which provides you an additional 10% EXP boost for 8 in-game hours. Now this will only shave a few minutes off, but it is alright to have if you're near a bed at the start of the tutorial. This will not work if the player has chosen to become a werewolf, because for whatever reason these cannot get a good night's sleep. And now for the actual method. There are 2 I recommend. The first and slowest one is if you've gotten far enough through the Dark Brotherhood questline, you should have Shadowmare. If you set the difficulty as high as it can go, then his health will be extremely hard to take down, so you can just stand and shoot him all the way to level 100. This should take a little over an hour depending how strong the bow is that you're using. But the by far quicker method is if you've gotten to the point in the campaign where you've met the Greybeards, then put the game on the highest difficulty and wait till one of them is doing their meditation. Sneak behind them and just keep unloading arrows while staying hidden. You should make periodic quick saves while doing this in case you get caught. Every time you wait an hour, the game will autosave and it will also replenish the health of the group. 2 quick tips is you should get the quick shot perk when you hit level 70 archery. This will more or less make the last 30 levels of the skill go 30% faster. Or if you're using Conjuration, then grab the Mystic Binding spell, which will give you increased damage to your bound bow. But yeah, that should about sum it up. In about an hour to 2 hours, you should have your archery to level 100. This is one of the more tedious skills to train, but this is just the kind of thing you can throw up on a second screen while you're watching a show or a film or just scrolling through YouTube, since all you have to do is just stand still and pretty much just spam the archery button. But I hope you found this video helpful. I do not understand how it took me nearly 10 whole minutes to cover the sneak to 100 strategy when I made the guide all those years ago, so here is a much more condensed version. To start off, grab yourself the Thief Stone to get a 20% increase to your EXP gain in your sneak skill. Then grab yourself a dagger and head over to High Hrothgar. The method is extremely simple. All you have to do is wait until one of the greybeards is meditating, change the difficulty to the highest one that you have available, and then spam hit them while sneaking. If their health runs out, just simply wait an hour to make it come back, and you will hit 100 in a matter of minutes. Upgrade perks that increase your stealth skill, like giving you more damage when you sneak attack with daggers. But yeah, that is pretty much how you get sneak to 100 in under half an hour. On to the next skill. In today's video, I'll be showing you 2 of the best ways to get your lockpicking skill to level 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. But without further ado, let's get right on with the video. There are 2 easy ways to do this. One is completely AFK and the other is much faster but a bit expensive. We'll start with the AFK method. To start off, go and grab yourself the Thief Stone. This will make your lockpicking level up 20% faster. For either strategy you go with, you are going to want to get your hands on quite a lot of lockpicks. You will need a few thousand if you're going to go with the AFK method in particular. For late game players, you likely already have a few hundred or 1,000 lockpicks, but if you want a quick way to get more, then head over to one of the Khajiit caravans. The go-to one I go to is in Dawnster. Now just stand still at... Wait, the guards can do that? Okay, so just skip a few hours until they spawn and then buy some lockpicks. Once you've bought them all, time to do a little exploit. Just make a quick save, then hit or kill the merchant and reload the quick save. This will instantly restock the shop inventory, allowing you to buy more lockpicks. They usually sell around 25 to 30 every time, so you will get them insanely fast for very cheap. Just simply do this for a few minutes and you should rack up hundreds or thousands of lockpicks. Now for the AFK method. To start off, you're going to want to find the highest level chest that you can find. Expert should work, but I highly recommend going with the highest level chest, which would be Master. Hamvir's Rest is a very quick master chest that's sitting completely out in the open, only guarded by a few skeletons and 1 Draugr. Click on the chest, and then if you're on console, prop your controller up in a way which permanently tries to open the lock. Or if you're on keyboard, rebind your keys and weigh down whichever one you set to try to turn the lockpick. Every time a pick breaks, you get a small amount of EXP, and if you've got thousands of lockpicks, you can put this on overnight when you go to bed, or if you're leaving the house for a few hours, just leave this on, and when you come back, you should have a skill to level 100. Now for the quick method. There is actually an extremely quick way to get to level 90 that I really don't see many people talking about, and I'm not entirely sure why. It's completely free to get to level 80, but will cost around 30 to 40k to get from level 80 to level 90. Head over to the Thieves Guild in Riften. You can actually pay Vex to train your skill all the way up to level 90, since she's a master trainer. And if your pickpocketing skill is high enough, you can actually steal all your money back every time you upgrade, up until around level 80 where it starts getting a bit too hard to pickpocket. I will link my guide for pickpocketing level 100 in the description down below. Then whenever your character gains a full level overall, you can come back to her and buy 5 more levels of pickpocketing. With strategies like the one seen in my Destruction to 100 tutorial, you can level Destruction to 100 in under a minute and then come straight back to buy more levels off this one. Okay, when you finish this step and you are either level 80 or 90, I highly recommend getting some good enchanted gear to help make picking locks easier for the next and final step. I'll link my guide to level 100 enchanting down below if you'd like better enchantments. With that out of the way, head over to Markov and go inside the Understone Keep. You're looking for the museum. The guard on the right will say you need permission of the court wizard in order to access the museum. This quest only takes around 1 to 2 minutes or so simply turn around and talk to the court wizard. He'll tell you to go kill a large spider nearby. Then when you come back, he will give you the key and you'll be forever allowed access to the museum.
As promised, is the key to the Dwemer Museum.
There are dozens of display cases in here to lockpick, and a lot of them are adept or expert. And as long as you don't steal anything that's in the display cases, the guards are for some reason completely fine with you picking all of these locks. So go ahead and pick them all. If you were level 90 when you came here, then one pass through every single lock in this place should get you 5 or 6 of the remaining levels, putting you on around level 95. From here, you can simply read skill books to get the last 5 of remaining levels. I will link the locations of all lockpicking skill books in the description down below to get you those final few levels and get to level 100. And that is about it. This was by far one of my more time-consuming videos to make, having to get and edit all these clips together. I record all of these on console, so I cannot just off-screen console command myself to level 100. Once I've got a few minutes of clips for this video, I actually sit here and grind the full skill to 100. So I really hope you guys found this useful and got your lockpicking skill to level 100 alongside me. This, in my opinion, is probably the most annoying skill in the game to get to level 100, where if you don't use any exploits or strategies shown in this video, it will actually take you probably more time than you're going to play the game to get it to level 100. In today's video, I'll be showing you a quick and easy way to get your Pickpocket skill to level 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. But without further ado, let's get around with the guide. First, as always, make sure you have the correct standing stone equipped, this time being the Thief Stone, for a 20% faster EXP gain with the Pickpocket skill. Next, this will be extremely more easy if you have gear that boosts your pickpocketing skill. The Thieves Guild armor is an alright set to have if you don't already have one, but the best way is to enchant your own, which will make this method much faster. I have a tutorial on how to get enchanting to 100 in under an hour, so if you guys would like to see that, I will link that in the description down below. Before we start, you're going to want to store absolutely everything you own that is not your Pickpocket armor set, a few valuable items like gems, and be sure to keep around 2,000 or so coins on you for this method. And then you will also need a few lockpicks and a weapon, since we will likely be killing 1 or 2 of the prison guards. And with all of that out of the way, it's time to head over to Riften. Head into the Riften prison just to the right of Mistvale Keep. Convince the guard to let you in and head into the far back cell on the right hand side. Pick the lock when no one's looking and stash all of your stuff in the drawers. This will be the cell you will get sent to when you are arrested, so you want all of your stuff in here for when you get sent to. So then go ahead and do that.
By order of the yard, stop right there.
Now that we're in here, you can take all your stuff out and put it back on. Be sure to make a quick save here, just in case something screws up. Break out of your cell and kill both of the guards as quickly as you can. And now, once you're completely alone in here, head over to the cell with Sibby Blackbriar in, across from your cell. The method from here is extremely simple. Just put all of your expensive stuff in his inventory and keep taking it back out again. The coins by far get you the highest amount of EXP. The higher the coin stack, the more EXP you get, but you will end up having a 0% chance to pickpocket if you stack this too high. So start with a small number of coins, at say 300 to 400. And just spam this method. After a few levels, you will unlock the perk to make coins easy to pickpocket. This is when stuff gets insanely fast. Start doing it with a higher amount of coins and you will be 100 within the next few minutes. This footage is not actually sped up, this is generally how fast you do go up when you do this correctly. It can be sometimes 2 to 3 pickpocketing levels per pickpocket. And that's about it, just walk out the prison, let a guard arrest you again so you can serve your time and remove the bounty, and enjoy your level 100 skill. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 2 quick methods to get your speech skill to level 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. But let's not waste any more time and get right in the video. There are 2 main methods I know to do this that still both work on the Anniversary Edition. The first one can be done in Whiterun. Use your preferred out of the map glitch to get yourself underneath your Vasker. I show quite an easy route to get there in the recent glitch chest video, the link for that will be in the description down below. Once you're down here, just wait a few hours until the blacksmith is on the grindstone and you are now fully ready to do the exploit. Simply buy absolutely everything you can afford from his inventory. Once you've exhausted either all of your money or everything he has for sale, then simply go to the chest and take all of your cash back. This chest serves as his inventory, so also go ahead and give him all of his stuff back as well. You can likely see where this is about to go. Simply rinse and repeat this. Buy his inventory, get your money back, give him his stuff back, repeat. You can get roughly 1 level per cycle of this, so you should be able to hit level 100 in a little over an hour, while also netting yourself a ton of gold. On to the second method. This method is by far the fastest of the two, but will not be possible on every account. This method is only doable if you have not done the Daedric quest to get Azura's Star. If you haven't yet done this quest, then head over to the Shrine of Azura just south of Winterhold. Talk to the woman to start the quest, and then fast travel yourself back to Winterhold. Enter the tavern and find the wizard known as Nenelika. Now it is possible to mess this part up, so be sure to make a quick save beforehand. Now simply begin a conversation with him and choose the option to intimidate him. Then immediately back out of the conversation. As long as you back out before he finishes the sentence, you will be able to restart the dialogue from the beginning and choose the intimidate option again.
Just calm down. I'll tell you everything. Greetings. Who sent you? Just calm down.
Make a quick save every few minutes just in case, then simply rinse and repeat this method and you will very soon have your speech to level 100. I timed this and it took me around 24 minutes to get from level 40 all the way to level 100, but this could easily be reduced to 20 minutes with fewer mistakes. A quick and easy way to get illusion to 100. Go to any court wizard and buy the Muffle spell, and then simply just cast the spell while you walk around playing the game. It is literally that simple. If you spam this while you're just walking around exploring the map or completing some quests, you will hit illusion to 100 in a little under an hour. You can get the standing stone to speed this up, but I really don't think it's required since you're pretty much going to be not wasting any time doing this skill anyway, because you will be just spamming the spell while you're walking around. But yeah, there's not really anything else to say here, it's incredibly easy to get. On to the next skill. How to get Conjuration to 100 incredibly quick. There are actually two quick ways of doing this. One's a bit more passive that you do throughout the playthrough, and the other if you just want to get the skill over with quickly. To start off, grab the Mage Stone for a flat 20% increase to your magic skill. For the quick method, go to any merchant who sells spells like the Court Wizard in Dragon's Reach and buy the Soul Trap spell. This spell can actually be used on your horse and also on any corpse in the game, so simply just stand and spam cast this for around 25 to 30 minutes and you will hit 100. It's really that simple. The more passive method requires the bound weapon spells. When these are summoned during combat, you get a surprisingly very large amount of EXP. So in between enemies, simply sheath and recast the spell and you usually gain 2 to 3 levels per fight, which will get you 100 after just a few hours playing. And that pretty much sums it up. Either of these strategies will get your Conjuration to 100 in a very fast manner. We now move on to Destruction. This method is only available to those of you playing on the Anniversary Edition of Skyrim due to the addition of new spells through the built-in Creation Club content you gain access to when you buy the new version. To start off, go ahead and make your way all the way over to Hobbs Fall Cave. This can be found directly in the middle of Dawnstar and Winterhold as shown on the screen. Fight your way through the cave, be wary as the area is filled with fairly high leveled spellcasters who can do very high damage to low level players. A few minutes into the cave, you will come across this room with the exit blocked by iron bars. Simply turn to the left and open the chest named Ancient Tome Chest. There will be a dozen or so spells in here, so go ahead and take all the ones you don't already have. The spell in question we're looking for is the Unbound Storm spell, an expert level lightning spell that calls down lightning strikes on all nearby enemies. And there you have it, this is all we need to rocket our destruction up to 100 in a matter of seconds. Simply leave the cave so you're able to fast travel, dismiss any and all followers that you have following you. This spell does not discriminate between friend or foe, so the second you start casting the spell, your followers will become hostile as the spell will immediately start targeting them. Also make sure you start somewhere where there are no NPCs nearby so you're actually able to fast travel. Now all you have to do is hold the spell in both hands and start casting. Open the map menu and fast travel to any random location as far away as possible. The further the location you're going to is, the more EXP you're going to get. Bear in mind you need to keep holding the spell down for the whole duration of you doing this fast travel, so whether that's both the triggers if you're playing on console or whatever key you have bound to spellcast on mouse and keyboard. If done correctly and you do keep holding it during the duration of the fast travel, when you arrive at your new location you should have shot up dozens of levels, if not straight to level 100 depending what level you started at. If you are not level 100 yet, just simply rinse and repeat. This does not drain any magicka while fast traveling, so simply just keep fast traveling from place to place until you hit 100. This should only take around 2 to 3 fast travels at most. Now have fun prestiging the skill as many times as you want and earning as many skill points as you'd like. Step 1 will obviously be grab the Mage Stone. This will give you a 20% faster increase to all EXP you get with spell related skills and will obviously cut 20% down of the overall getting to 100. Now what you're going to want to do is grab the Turn Lesser Undead spell. This is a very early game spell. You can get this from pretty much any shop that sells spells, any like magician that sells spells. The College Winterhold Restoration Teacher would be a good shout. and then simply go find caves where there are undead enemies that are a low level. So the earlier caves in the campaign, for example, where there are just normal Draugr when you're a low level, and just simply cast it on these. This is a fairly good way of getting the levels early on, but as I said, this is only a very beginner spell, so this will only take you from around level 15 to around 30 or 40 or so. Once you hit level 40, shops will now stock Adept Restoration Magic. If you're already level 40, then obviously skip up until this step. But then you can get the Repel Lesser Undead one, which will take you very far in this game. I recommend keeping this until around level 75. This will pretty much do you. You do not need anything else. As you can see from the clip on screen now, this is a much more effective way of getting EXP with this. Essentially just go to any cave now that has a crap load of Draugr. I recommend the Dustman's Cairn if you're an early game player and the Companions, because this door closes at the end, which makes all the Draugr unable to flee when you cast the spell on them. So then just simply line them up at the door and then just spam cast this as long as you want, as long as Farkas does not take them out. But now for the much more fruity strategy that you're all here for. Head over to get the Ritual Stone. It is just east of Whiterun for those of you that do not know where it is. Go over to get the Ritual Stone. For those of you that do not know what Ritual Stone does, this allows you to resurrect as many corpses as you want one time per day. It has a very big blast radius and it will just resurrect corpses for you, which obviously when combined with all the spells previously mentioned means we will have unlimited undead to fight for us, and 9 times out of 10 when you cast one of these spells on your undead, they will not actually flee from you, since they can't be afraid of you, since they are technically classed as your companions. There is the very odd time they will bug out and decide to run from you, but then simply go to any place you've previously cleared out, or go clear out any place which has low level enemies, so any basic bandit camp or pack of mud crabs or wolves and stuff should do. Then go simply resurrect them and then have at it. Absolutely have fun. Just go ham casting this, get them all in a straight line. There is no limit to how many things you can resurrect with the Ritual Stone, so if you do want more corpses and you can make this go an absurd speed where you're getting a level per every cast or two, just go simply walk with your new undead army to each bandit camp in the area, keep resurrecting, and then when you wait 24 hours it will recharge. As you just saw there, some enemies are still too high a level for us, but once you get Restoration to level 75, the mage in charge of Restoration will start stocking expert level Restoration spellbooks, which allows you to get Repel Undead, which is around twice as high level cap as the previous spell in terms of what we're allowed to turn. But yes, I did that all the way up to 100 with a fresh account, escaping Helgen, going around, recording all the footage from this video. It took me about 4 hours to get to level 100, but that was obviously doing the College Winterhold quest line, buying all the spellbooks, getting enough money to buy all the spellbooks. I was doing a lot of sidetrack stuff. For late game players, or even players that have been playing for a couple of hours, you should easily have enough money and at least enough experience in Restoration, or at least Magicka, to be able to just go buy half these spellbooks outright and get right on this and skip the first couple of steps and make this ridiculously quick. Sorry, my throat is dying a little bit today. But yes, this should be very easy for you to do. I do not imagine this will take you all more than an hour if you are quite far into the game. To start off, grab the Mage Stone for a flat 20% increase to your magic skill. Head over to the Red Water Den just northwest of Riften. If you ask for a free sample of skooma and drink it, you will black out and wake up inside of this cell. On the floor will be the Telekinesis spellbook. The strategy from this point on is incredibly simple. Just hold and throw any item repeatedly into the air. This spell does drain your magicka incredibly fast, but as you gain EXP in the skill, the cost will slowly decrease. It will take around 25 to 30 minutes to get to 100, but it is pretty chill since you can just stand still and stare straight up. Just remember to wait an hour in between each throw so you get your magicka back and you can just catch the item and repeatedly throw it back into the air again. Okay, and that covers all skills to level 100 in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This series has taken months to complete, but I am so proud of just the fact that I've stuck this series through all 18 to 20 episodes that it's had, and now finally, after about 7 straight hours of editing, finally finished this one mega compilation of all skills to 100. I truly hope you all found this video incredibly helpful. This is not the end of skilling vids on the channel. I have recently started a series of shorts where I will be showing the locations of every skill book for all of the skills. I will try and upload 2 shorts a week of where to get the various skills. I've currently got 2 of these spells. I think it was where to get all the Conjuration and Illusion spellbooks. But yes, I will be uploading 2 of those each week for the next 2 or 3 months until I've covered every single skill book in the game, and then I will be doing another video like this where it'll be one full long video showing all skill books in one video. But thank you all so much for sticking with me through this entire series. I know it has taken a long time to complete, but I am just so happy this series is over, and I can now start making all the other Skyrim videos I've had on the back burner for a very long time. The support on this series has been immense. Just from this series alone, I've gained 200 to 300 subscribers, which is literally a third of all subscribers currently on the channel. We've just hit over 900 literally while I was editing this video. We might actually end up hitting 1,000 subscribers by the end of March at the rate we're currently going, which is insane to think about. Again, I apologize for my voice in this video. The stutter plus the flu is not really a great combination for understanding the video in the best way possible, but I wanted to stick to my upload schedule and get this video out, so I did a load of takes, and I think this video was pretty understandable, all things considered. But thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video, but for now, peace. Thank you for watching.